Welcome back to G's K Love Lounge. Happy Wednesday, everyone. This is your host, Uni Gwen. Hope you're all having a fantastic midweek, and I hope that you are all liking my content that I'm putting out there. How are you guys liking the first couple episodes? Are they okay? What would you like to hear more of? I am very happy every time Wednesday comes around because I love sharing a little bit about me, about what I do in my life, like my lifestyle, and sharing it with all of you. And it's nice to have reoccurring visitors. So thank you so much for coming back and stopping by at the lounge. It means a lot to me. I've been networking and building those connections already. I do appreciate everyone. If you like the content that I share, please hit that follow button so that you can get notified whenever I drop an episode and stay along for the ride. I mean, this is going to be so fun. I have so much fun with all of you, and I love hearing your feedback. I do hope that you guys DM me and let me know what you're into, what you're watching, what music you like, anything. Just, drop me a little DM. I'm around and I will see it. So, this is going to be part one, and this is on my South Korea trip. Never thought I'd be in Asia before, and a little intimidating because I didn't know if I was going to be able to get there without any language barriers, but it was great. I actually didn't struggle that much. And this was a dream vacation that was just being put aside and put aside. And okay, we'll go next year. We'll go next year. If you keep saying that, you don't book the ticket, next year comes around and you don't go. That's what happens. It kept just slipping by me. So I looked up some airfare, saw that it was really cheap to leave from San Francisco to Los Angeles. Round trip airfare was about $662. And the ticket included a carry on, a personal item, and a checked bag. So I got to bring a lot of stuff back without having to worry about where I was going to put everything. Violet did the same thing. She ended up taking a checked bag, and I kind of had her take one even though she didn't want to. She was kind of thinking in the beginning, I don't know why she was thinking this. And she said this to me before we left. She said, Mom, really don't think I'm going to buy anything over there. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. Whatever you say. Because, if you have a teenager, you know that that's what they say in the beginning. And then when they see everything, like Korea has so many different stores and they have so many cool stuff and it's all cheap. Like, how are you not going to bring anything back? Like, she always found something in every single store that we went to. So don't believe your teenagers. I didn't get to do everything that I wanted to do in Korea, and there's just so much to do. I went for about 6 days, and I have been waiting to share this story with you. I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to put this together. And because there's just so many different topics and things that I want to touch on and mention in this episode, that it's probably going to have to be a two-part episode. So I hope that if you're driving somewhere, commuting to work or whatnot, that I can help lighten your day. I hope you enjoy this episode. This was my first time going international all by ourselves. It was going to be a little bit more challenging, and I had to do all the research and everything. So I'm going to get into this episode. I hope you have your coffee ready, cappuccino, latte, and your snack. And let's get started. Okay, so I started thinking about how I wanted to introduce the first thing that I wanted to touch on, which is, of course, traveling and preparing for this trip because I thought, well, if there's another single mom or there's just moms that are able to travel with their daughters a lot more than their husbands because their husbands are always working, what kind of advice could I give them so that they also feel confident and you also feel confident in traveling solo? The language barrier in South Korea isn't really hard because a lot of people over there do speak English, but I did download apps to help me with translation. One thing I highly recommend is everybody needs to do some research. I did 2 weeks of research because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't gonna be far away from different little neighborhoods that I kinda wanted to get to through the metro, and when I would zoom out on my map, I wanted to look like I was kind of like in the middle of Seoul. And I also looked up a bunch of hotels that sounded like they were gonna be great for Violet and I, but I looked at the comments and those were really helpful because one hotel that I really want to stay at in Myeongdong, which was really close to Olive Young, it actually had construction going, and they also said that they couldn't adjust the AC in the hotel. Now, we went in the summer and it was so hot. I think it was probably even hotter than Florida. Violet was dying. I mean, she was using my little fan when we would walk around in the neighborhoods and stuff. So when I knew that I couldn't adjust the air conditioning for that hotel, I was like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to stay there. Um, I also looked up YouTubers who have traveled solo. They recommended different things to bring along that you're going to need, especially when you're hooking up electronics, phones, hair curling, hair styling products, those type of things. They have different outlets over there that use a different voltage. So you needed a converter to make sure that you weren't going to burn or start a fire in your hotel. Basically, that's the safety net of it all. And also, I looked up what kind of forms you needed to have before you entered this country. And there are two forms that I needed to do. And this YouTuber that I watched, she actually recommended that I do it when I got on the plane, and I was just like not feeling that. I was like, you know what, when I get there, I kind of just want to get off the plane and get my trip started because I was already short on time. The first document was the ETA travel card, and the second form that you have to fill out online is the mandatory online health declaration. And that has to be submitted 3 days before your flight. And I'm so happy that I got the ETA travel card printed because it was so nice to just go through the turnstiles, show our cards, and get going. The YouTuber that I looked up for the information is Megan Austin. That's her channel name. Austin, her last name is Osten. And the title name for the video was The New Korea Entry Requirements 2025. That's where you'll find all the information for the forms. She was very helpful. Like I said, I'm happy that I did it online and beforehand instead of doing it on the plane. Saves so much time. And through all of the searching, I finally found one. It was a travel lodge hotel, and I found it through the Expedia app. It had everything I was looking for. I wanted it to have a washer and a dryer. I wanted it to be close to the convenience store, which was actually right outside. And I wanted it to be close to the underground subway station so we didn't have to walk very far. It was literally 7 steps to the left when you walked out the front door, and the staff spoke English. They were so nice and helpful, even helped me with directions, so that was a plus. Another thing I realized that the hotel had that was not mentioned in the comments when I was searching up the reviews was that they have a money exchange machine, so you could just change your United States dollars into Korean won right there in the lobby. You also need a T-Money card, and that can be bought at any of the convenience stores in Korea. I bought mine at the CU convenience store inside of the airport when we got off the plane, and I loaded it with $20 to start. And the card also has an app for your phone, so this is really cool. You can check your balance in real time after you connect the card to the phone. And this is really helpful because when Violet and I were just going, tapping the card to the turnstiles, it's taking a little bit of money every single time. It's about a dollar, less than a dollar 50 from one stop to the next. Did we get lost on the subway? Yes, we did. But the subway is the fastest and cheapest way to travel, and I think Violet had some type of conquering the subway goal and, well, she never really gave up, so that was great. She really did want to get to understand the subway. It's just that the subway has so many lines, and when I was underground, it was nice to see other foreigners that were also kinda lost just like Violet and I, and they were trying to read the subway and did have an app for that as well. The lobby also has a T-Money card reload machine, and you can add money to your card for the subways and buses. And I also wanted to touch on a couple of things before I keep going. If you are going to go during a hot month, the air conditioning in the shops and restaurants, I've noticed this in several of them, it's not cold. It's actually kind of borderline warm. Our air conditioning here in the States is like a cooler, but over there, it's just like barely cool. The air conditioning is not the best. If you go to a mall, it's a bit better. Another thing, all of the signs in Korea are also in English. That's awesome. Second thing is when you reload any of the cards or if you're trying to order off of a menu and it's in a kiosk form, they have instructions in Chinese, Japanese, Korean, and in English. I did forget to mention earlier that the airfare was also nonstop. And before I go on, I'm going to name all of the apps here and now. So here we go. The T Money Card app. I use the Neighbor app, Navigation Kakao app. So that's spelled Kakao. I don't even think I'm saying that right. Subway Korea, Neighbor Papago for translation. Don't even bother trying to use Google Maps because they don't work over there. And the YouTuber that I looked up, this guy was really helpful. His channel is called Taste Soul Good. And the title of the video was First Time in Korea, the Only Guide You'll Ever Need. This video helped me understand how to get from the Incheon airport to Seoul because it takes about 45 minutes to get into the city. And there's a couple ways that you can get there. You can either take the Seoul train, which is like pretty fast. You can take the charter bus or you can take a taxi. Taxi is going to be the most expensive way to get there, but Violet and I chose to do the charter bus. And I really liked taking the charter bus. It was fairly easy. You can buy the ticket inside of the airport. There's a ticket booth place that you can buy your tickets. I don't even remember the price, to be honest, because I went in the summer and I just bought everything and I was like, here you go. I liked going on the charter bus because I didn't wanna miss a thing, and Violet was actually napping, but I was like, "No, I'm not gonna miss anything because I wanna see everything." And I think it kind of finally hit me that I was actually in Seoul, and this was the moment. I don't know if you guys watch dramas, but if you do, have seen these little white and blue trucks, and they sometimes carry food and fruits, and they're everywhere. But we, like, hit a stop, and then all of a sudden, on the left, the little white truck pulls up, and I can see it from the window, and Violet always has to have the window seat, but let me tell you, as soon as I saw that little white truck, I think I was, like, in shock, like, I couldn't stop staring at it because I had just seen these little white trucks and blue trucks on TV all the time, and it's just like, now that you see it, like, right outside your window, it's just a crazy moment. I'm very humbled, to just be able to experience it. The other video I did see, it was called In My Korea, and the title of the video was Where to Stay in Seoul. Now, this video is helpful because it talks about all of the districts in Seoul. So it talks about Gangman, Dongdaemun, it talks about Myeongdong, Hongdae. All of these places get mentioned. There's more than that get mentioned, but it tells you a little bit about what to expect from each district. So some is more like college based parties and loud music and drinking, a little bit more clubs, bars, and then you've got like Gangman, which is where all of the rich people live, which I didn't know that. It's kind of like the Beverly Hills Rodeo Drive of Seoul. And then there's Myeongdong, which is like a shopping district for like tourists. So watch the video and figure out where you want to stay. And that was so helpful for me because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't too close to craziness with like bars and drinking and all that because I did have my teenage daughter there with me. We checked into the hotel around 6:54 p.m. and I surprised myself that first night. We landed, couldn't sleep, and somehow decided to go out exploring at night. And I kept thinking, I haven't even seen the buildings yet. What if we get lost on the metro? Like, what if we can't get back to the hotel or don't know how to get back to the hotel? Because this is kind of a little scary. But we went for it and wandered through Myeongdong Night Market and we just soaked up all the energy of the night. The lights were crazy. Just the energy feel of night. This place comes alive at night. And there was like vendors everywhere, food, fish cakes, candied fruit. There was at least one beauty shop on every corner. if not more than one. When it was time to head back, we just took an Uber and made it back to our hotel before 10:30 p.m. And from that very first night, adjusting to the time difference became surprisingly easy for us. And it stayed that way for the rest of the week. Quick cultural note for anyone visiting Seoul: people might stare at you in the subway. We definitely got a few looks while walking through the tunnels. Probably not used to seeing Latinas around. We laughed it off, but it's one of those little things foreigners might notice. That's it for part one, Uni Crew. Thank you for joining me in the lounge today. If you're enjoying these K-Love vibes, hit that follow button to be part of the lounge and get notified when new episodes drop. And check out my Instagram at G's K-Love Lounge to see my beauty reels and all things lounge related. In part two, we'll be traveling to different districts, exploring all the shopping, food, and sights Seoul has to offer. Don't miss it. Until next time, keep vibing and enjoying all things Korean.